Hey guys, this is the Forerunner server. They have added new heroes to the game, so we're going to take a look at them. This is not going to be on global yet and may not be for a while yet. I just want to show them because they may be coming soon and it's just interesting to see what's on the horizon. So we go to Hero Fusion. There's two new Fusion heroes. There's a Fusion Legendary, which is a mage, and there is a Fusion Marksman, which is an epic. However, these seem to be limited Fusion events. They are not permanent. These are only around for 18 days, as you can see here. But let's have a look at this hero. So this is Felipe, a marksman for the Esotericist faction. She looks like her model is probably based off of Brienne, the existing marksman, but let's have a look at what she does. So first off, her basic abilities. Pretty standard attack range for a marksman. Reasonable stats, good low cost for a marksman, a decent 2 interval, which I think is fairly standard, but overall, quite decent average stats. One thing that's good to note is she does magic damage, so bonus damage to heavy armor, which is always very useful. She has a talent that each attack launched increases attack speed by 10 for 5 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. Her default attack is just magic damage 100% to one enemy. Her ultimate Swift Barrage has a rage cap of 1000 down to 800 at max skill ups, starts at 400 rage, and it takes 4 seconds to unleash 6 waves of arrows upon one enemy target, dealing 160 upwards to 220% damage. So she seems like a single target Brienne, is what I'm getting from this. She gains attack speed and she focuses down a single target. It manually activates, but it has a fairly high rage cap. It's not bad at all. For an epic, that's over 1300% nuke on a single target. I'd say that's pretty reasonable. And her passive, Arcane Impact, so it has an 8-second cooldown, and then it says 1 second, but it says here the next attack deals 240% damage. So with max skill ups, every 6 seconds, her next attack will deal 300% damage. So yeah, she's just a real single target nuke hero. It's interesting because she feels kind of like Lunaria in a way. Obviously, Lunaria is most likely better, and Esotericist is not a great faction for a marksman just because of how good the piercer benefits are. Esotericist does have some things to reduce the max rage cap, so that could help get this ultimate up, as I think this is going to be a massive amount of damage. It's actually really strong. So from her base kit alone, I think she's quite good. It's nice to have magic damage marksmen. I find them very useful in Void Rift especially. As for her awakening, just take a quick look. She gains 20% penetration with first awakening. That's really nice. So yeah, I think that's great. Second is some flat attack, which is good because it scales on her percentage attack. Her third awakening increases her cap on her talent from 5 to 10, so now it's 100 attack speed gain potential rather than 50, and there's a chance to gain double stacks from each attack, so it can build up faster as well, so that's pretty good. Her fourth awakening is crit rate, so she's easier to build, and her fifth awakening deals 20% more damage after the talent effect increases attack speed by 150. So this increases the max stacks from 10 to 15, so instead of having a 100 rage cap, it will now go to 150. And fifth is deals 20% more damage after the talent effect increases attack speed by 150, so that is when her talent reaches max stacks. So she needs to have landed quite a lot of attacks in that window, 15, and there's a chance that they double stack. So yeah, that's quite hard to do in 5 seconds, but her ultimate obviously is going to go a long way towards that. And as she has a fairly low attack interval, I think that's totally achievable. She's just going to be blasting arrows out really fast, I guess is her just massive single target nuke. So yeah, quickly, I think she's actually quite good. Felipe seems to be quite a strong hero. Definitely will be worth getting. I'm going to try and get her on the Forerunner server so I can test her. You do need to participate in an event to get these heroes, these copies. And so there are time limited events for this on the Forerunner server. As you can see down here, there's a whole bunch to get these fusion heroes. It is a Lordine, who I've never seen before. It seems to be the sister of Camille, perhaps. And I guess we'll have a look at her skills very quickly. So she has, I mean, it's hard to say stats on a rare. I think that's quite a high attack for a rare though. But everything else seems to be fairly standard. Normal cost for a healer. Attack-based healing to one ally in range. Again, this is a tooltip that we don't see on global yet, so hopefully they add it just to clarify exactly the healing type. I know some people find that a bit confusing. Her ultimate healing light lasts for a second and a half. 200 rage cap, which is really low. Restores HP equal to 220% of healing modifier for the ally with the lowest HP in range. Of course, increasing to 300%. So that's pretty cool. It's just a nuke heal. It's kind of like Light Lock, but not offensive. And then her passive rejuvenation every 20 seconds. The hero applies a heal over time effect to the next target she heals, which restores HP equal to 12% of healing multiplier for them and lasts 8 seconds. A bunch of skill ups do affect that. So she seems actually not too bad as rare healers go. Anyway, so that is Felipe and Lordine, and then next up there is Carosa, the mage. So let's take a look at that. You need Felipe times 4 to get Carosa in 18 days. So that seems interesting. That seems tricky. So, okay, Carosa, who is this chick? She is from the Cultist faction. She's in a fancy robe. Interesting design. Nothing too fancy there, to be honest. She could be an epic in my opinion, but it doesn't matter too much. See what her skills look like. She has a decent attack range. It's kind of like Mari or Aeon's attack range, where they attack behind them. So she's probably a debuff of slow focused hero. Magic damage, as you would expect. 14 cost is quite low, to be honest, for a mage. But as you can see, her attack is super low. So odds are she is just support focused, which is good. They're really good heroes to have. So talent, for every 8 basic attack by the hero and her grimoire, okay, the next basic attack summons the arcane realm, centering one enemy for 5 seconds. The enemy in the realm is inflicted with vulnerability to magic damage, receiving 60% AoE damage per second. So for every 8 seconds, she basically debuffs someone with a realm, and they take 60% AoE damage per second, and they also get a 20% magic vulnerability. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. How's our attack interval? 2 seconds. That's quite a low attack interval for a mage as well, so this shouldn't be too hard to keep going. It lasts for 5 seconds. With a bit of attack speed built on her, you can probably maintain that with quite a good uptime. And vulnerability for 20% is quite nice as well. So overall, the talent looks pretty good to me. Her first attack is 100% to a single target. That's fair enough. Her ultimate, Arcane Resonance. 600 rage cap going down to 500. That's pretty low. Starting rage is 200. That's pretty good. So she's most of the way to her, well, she's nearly halfway to her ultimate already. And the duration is 7 seconds, but it goes up to 10 seconds duration at max skill up. So what does it do? Enters the arcane stance. Attack plus 20% up to 30% with skill ups. And when dealing basic attack, her grimoire will attack too. This effect lasts for 7 seconds. I mean, that's cool, but I'd want to know what the grimoire's damage is. But maybe it's in the passives, we'll see. Also, her talent does say every 8 basic attacks by the hero and her grimoire. So this ultimate Arcane Resonance should stack up her talent super fast. And then perhaps you could even have multiple of these areas on people, the Arcane Realms on people. So that could be really good, actually. But she seems more offensive focused so far. She applies vulnerability, but other than that, this is all damage focused. So, overflowing energy. When summoning the Arcane Realm in the Arcane stance, so when this talent gets activated while she has her ultimate up, there's a 30% chance to summon 1 extra Arcane Realm with her grimoire, and the chance will increase up to 50%. So she's just going to be spamming these AoE fields around. They're applying vulnerability to magic damage. That's good. The damage, I don't know if that will be that high, but this is quite high AoE damage per second, honestly, so it might be quite good. And finally, we have Energy Conversion. Increases attack by 1% permanently for every 1 enemy killed by the hero, stacking up to 6 times. So the attack increase goes up to 3 times, and the max stacks goes up to 10 times. So it's a 30% attack percent increase after killing 10 enemies. Okay, that's interesting. So I was expecting her to debuff a bit more, to be honest. At the moment, the only debuff she applies is magic vulnerability. Aside from that, she's a damage dealer. So, interesting. So she's a damage dealer mage that only has 14 cost and applies a pretty important debuff, but is very AoE focused. So she should be pretty good in GR1. She's probably really good in Tide, I would think. But Tide is kind of BP dependent, but AoE mages do help. There are some stages in Void Rift where she could be quite good. I actually really like this attack range in Void Rift, just so you can cover a couple lanes at the same time that are 2 tiles in between them. It actually helps quite a lot. She seems quite interesting. I think she's actually potentially quite good. My main concern is her base attack is very low, and her entire kit focuses on dealing damage. So yeah, it's hard to know exactly. She does gain a bunch of different attack bonuses, 30% from this, 30% from this, and her AoE damage is 60%, which is not bad. And she's getting grimoires, spamming out attacks. It really depends how it functions. I can't show you the clips, unfortunately, because she's just been added. But it'll be interesting to see how this actually works, because from the looks of it, she should just be coating everyone in debuffs, which would be very good. So her awakenings. The first awakening is 50 attack speed in Arcane Stance, so she'll be pumping out those debuffs, which is really good. Second awakening is 300 flat damage. This is great. It scales on her attack bonus. And she has low base attack as well, so that will actually be a big bonus for her. Third awakening enhances her ultimate. If the hero summons the Arcane Realm in the Arcane Stance, the duration of the stance increases by 5 seconds. Wait, what? So what if you keep summoning it? Do you keep gaining 3 seconds? Because that could be ridiculous. She could just be permanently in the Arcane Realm so long as there are enemies around. So in GR1, she could just sit inside this stance forever, right? That's insane. If it is like uncapped and you can keep doing that. Awaken 4, all damage 8%, pretty good. Awaken 5, the Arcane's Realm's damage per second is increased to 80%. Okay, that is crazy. 80% is a lot of AoE damage, and she should be able to stack these up. So Carosa seems pretty good. She seems really good. It's interesting because there's a lot of things that will be triggering that we need to see how it looks. These extra grimoires, is she going to have like 20 of them if she's got enough attack speed and the procs go right? Can she have many of these Arcane Realms at the same time? Can she persist her Arcane Resonance permanently with Awaken 3? There's a lot of stuff here that seems like it could be very, very good. So overall, seems pretty good. She's also in the Cultist faction, which I forgot to mention earlier, which is a great faction to have an AoE mage in. So yeah, Carosa seems pretty good to me. That looks good. So I managed to get hold of Felipe, the first epic in that fusion, And yeah, I built her, I 6-starred her, maxed her, I gave her all skill ups, I gave her 2 awakenings. I don't have enough to do the rest, unfortunately, and I gave her a really good set of gear. Maybe not the best set for her, probably is, but anyway, it's a pretty good set of gear, a bunch of stats on it, and I also gave her the Never Messenger maxed. So yeah, I geared her pretty well, I maxed her, I gave her a test, and I'll show you a clip of side-by-side Felipe versus Tariel and Brienne. Brienne is of course more AoE focused, however Tariel is very single target focused. I swapped them into the exact same gear, they all have max skill ups, they are all 6-star max promotions, they all had the same artifact as well. The only difference is that Felipe is only A2 and not A5, but if you look at her awakenings, the 3rd awakening is quite strong, and the 5th awakening would be quite nice as well for some more damage bonus. So I do think more awakenings would actually really impact her DPS and give her a better score overall. Aside from that, something to consider is I only did a very short test. It's not a great test by any means, but it's something. She needs to gain 400 rage for her ultimate, and in total though it's only 800 rage cap, it's very low. Whereas Tariel's is 1000, and hers is harder to control who it hits because it's map scale. So I think if you're single target nuking a boss down, I do think Felipe has a better ultimate. Anyway, here's 3 clips just showing you them side by side. You can see in these clips how they're performing. Just based on the bars at the top, it's all the same boss. It's all AMR 18 with Salazar with Power of Dominance on, and I just timed them to line up and I stopped them at the exact same point. There'll obviously be a slight discrepancy due to placement timings and ultimate timings, but I lined up the clips as best I could. And you can see that Tariel is much better on the left side than Brienne and Felipe. However, Felipe in the middle seems to be doing fairly well, to be honest. Bearing in mind she's missing 3 awakenings. And just so you know, the stage 18 and all of the stages for the Salazar boss in the Artifact Material raid, he has equal magic resistance as he does physical resistance, and he's in the common armor type. So there shouldn't be any difference in their damage done based on their attack type, because obviously Brienne and Tariel are piercing damage, whereas Felipe, the new marksman, is a magic damage hero. So yeah, overall, it looks like Felipe is actually a really solid single target damage dealer. She seems to be performing pretty well. I think she's probably better than Tariel when awakened, because obviously I'm comparing an A5 Tariel to an A2 Felipe. Overall, seems to be pretty promising. She seems like quite a good hero. I'm not going to go much further in the testing for now, because it's just a quick test to try the hero out. I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually get the rest of the event done, because I'm kind of focused mainly on the new server at the moment, and I don't really want to throw away this 6-star hero now that I've got her, since she's quite new. But I'll try and see if I can get Carosa as well, and maybe in future I'll do some proper testing on them if more people get them. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video just to show you guys some of the new Fusion heroes, as eventually they will make their way to the global server. So it's kind of cool to give you guys a heads up on what they're like, and it gives me a way to test them and include them in my tier list for future. So anyway, that's it for the video. In the coming days, I'll be uploading more videos focused on the new global server, some more beginner stuff, some gear guides, some stuff to hopefully help you guys out. So yeah, hopefully those videos will be useful to you. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. Have a great day. Take care, and bye-bye.